Hey everyone, in today's video we're just doing a quick look at my real-time Chipmunk tutorial that's available over on Patreon. If you'd like to paint this adorable little one along with me, you can check out all my tutorials on Patreon and also on my website. You'll find all the links in the description below. For this piece I'm using Faber-Castell watercolour pencils, but feel free to use whatever brand you have at home. These techniques will work for most water-soluble pencils. If you're new here, I'm Lisa and I create wildlife art to encourage a deeper appreciation for the beauty of nature. As a mum, I truly understand how therapeutic and calming creating art can be and hope my tutorials offer a little bit of peace for you too. I have a small series of watercolour pieces that I complete over on Patreon, so if you'd like to check them all out, they're a lot of fun to complete. So the first thing we need to do is get the outline down on the page. And if you'd like to follow along with this chipmunk in real time or explore other wildlife tutorials, I'd love for you to join me over on Patreon. Every tutorial includes a full material list, reference photo, and step-by-step guidance. There's even videos on how to get down the outline. So now the outline is down, we can go through and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is put in this left-hand eye. Making sure to use a really sharp black pencil. We're just going in and outlining where we can see all of the darkest sections. Also going with some of the white and the light ultramarine to put in some blue colour and blending down a little bit with the cold grey 2. I did use a sandpaper sharpener to go in and make sure that I have a really sharp point just because you want to get those really little lines in. You can also go back over and start to resaturate some of the colours as well. Making sure not to use too hard a pressure, you're just going over with more layers if you need to make things a bit darker. Then once you're happy with that, we can go in and activate all of the pencil with the water. So what you want to do is use a really thin, small brush, wet it with the water, and then just wipe it off so that it's only very damp. You don't want it to be dripping or anything. And then you're just using the very tip of the brush to go over and activate the pencil. You don't want to be moving it around too much at this point. We're just going to activate the pencil to make it nice and dark. While we're waiting for that to dry, we can go through and put in the other eye using the same methods. Making sure when you're blending it down to also have a really dry brush. So wet it with the water and then wipe it off on another bit of paper or even on your hand or something. And then you can go over and activate the pencil. And then we're just going to go through and put in the nose. So doing a base layer with the sanguine, adding in some of the cold grey 2, the cream, also using some of the light ultramarine, and then wetting that down again with a really damp brush. And then we're just going to go through and put the fur on the top of the head using a base layer of the cream, burnt ochre, adding in some of the sanguine, some of the walnut brown, and then going in with some of the cadmium orange as well to give it that really orange tone. And then you just go through and build up these layers gradually. Making sure to pay attention to your reference photo where you can see the darker and lighter areas so that you're going in and using the correct colours and tones. Remember, this is just a base layer, so although we're doing a couple of little fur strokes here and there, it's just getting the general tone of the fur at this point. Then we just need to wait for that to dry. Once it's dry, we can go back over and start to put in our fur lines to put in all of those little bits of detail that we can see in the fur. Making sure to use your sandpaper sharpener or just get your pencil really, really sharp because this is what's going to make the fur lines look sort of realistic and you can see all of the definition in it. Make sure that you're spacing your pencil strokes really far apart so you can see all of that underlayer coming through. And then we're just working up from light to dark, building in your layers as you go. For the whiskers, what we're going to do is use an embossing tool. So this is just a hard metal object that helps to indent the page. It's best to have a practice on a spare bit of paper if you're new to this sort of thing, but you want to do sort of one long sweeping motion, kind of a medium to firm sort of pressure, and we're going to be doing both sides, erasing 1 or 2 lines at a time, putting them in, and then erasing more, putting them in, just so we don't lose our place. And then when you're going through and putting in the colour, you want to make sure you're holding your pencil on the side very lightly so that you're not getting any of this colour in the lines that we just put down. For the white fur, we're working from light to dark, again adding in some of the colours which include the cream and also some of the light ultramarine, and then moving to the cold grey 2 and the cold grey 4. And then when you're wetting this down, you want to make sure that you have a really damp brush again, not too wet. go in the direction that the fur is going, and you're sort of going in between these embossed lines, so you still don't want to be pushing any of that colour into the lines. And so looking at the reference photo, you can see some of these white furs for the whiskers, but you can also see some darker sections as well. So I'm just going through with some of my Van Dyke brown just to put in some of these darker bits. Making sure to have a really sharp point on your pencil will just help you to get a really little line really thin, and you want to go sort of put it on the page and then flick it off so that the end of the line is tapered out. Then when I'm going through and completing the body, we just sort of work on one section at a time again. So making sure to break it down to make it a little bit easier for yourself, because it does take a long time to complete each sort of little section. So you want to make sure that you're not overwhelming yourself and just doing little bits at a time. The good thing about watercolour is that you can complete one section, wet it all down, move on to another section while that dries, and then when it does dry, you can go back and do the final touches and add in all of those little details that you need to. If this all seems a little bit too much, you can join me on Patreon, where this is a full real-time tutorial. It's available for individual sale if you don't want to get a membership, but you do get the reference photo, the line art, the material list, and then step-by-step video instructions of how to do this one in your own time. But I really hope that you like this video, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you would like to see next. And I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.